With me experiencing being a transformation coach, I've discovered that people really want to be better. And a lot of times people are not shown the way, but they're thrown into the way.
Don't push me away, don't throw me away. I've got some things I need to say. Tell me, won't you hear me?
If you are a leader of any sort, we have to meet.
Welcome to another episode of Ray Bridging Humans. It's the place where the people get to hear you and the world get to see it. What's up, y'all? What's up, family? How y'all doing? We good? You good, Ken?
I'm good.
Yeah, good. Thank y'all so much for continuing to watch the podcast as we grow, as the space grows. Get myself together, right? As the space grows, it's so important that the bridges communicate with me. Let me know how they feel, what's going on. So please, by all means, you have any comments, any suggestions, if you don't do nothing else, just like first and then, subscribe. Please subscribe. Again, I wouldn't know what to move forward with talking about, what conversations is best for me to have if y'all did not respond. So please subscribe to the podcast today. But y'all, we're back for another episode. Y'all, I got my sister, my ace, Ken. What's up? What's up, girl? You good? She's back, y'all. And I know y'all have Bridges. If you're a Bridger, you've seen her before. If this is your first time, this is gotta get my. I don't know what's up. Yeah, I'm here. The technical difficulties. That was me. That wasn't you. That was me. No, that was me. That was me. I'm tripping. Hold up. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. So, but y'all, this is my friend. It's my sister, and I'm so happy to have her here. I'm happy that she is in this moment with me. This is Ken Michelle. How you want me to announce you?
Yeah, that's good.
yeah. But I brought her here, and with the way my podcast is kind of gearing towards, I'm really I have a lot of masculinity conversations, and I think it's important now that I want to bring y'all voice in on the thing. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring y'all voice in, especially somebody like you. Yeah, this is my girl. This is my friend. She's very outspoken. She's very, but her heart is geared in the right place. I think she's, and we're about the same age, but I think that she can speak to the culture. She can speak to what's going on because she sees it. She's in what happens, and yeah, like if you can, before we keep it going, let's speak to the people. Let the Bridges know who you are, what you want them to know about you. I know y'all have seen her before on another episode, but just let the people know about you a little bit.
You said something about age. I'm in my mid-40s.
Mm-hmm.
Single. Been married before.
Come on.
3 children, grandson. I am very opinionated. I am. But I think that I've reached a level of, or unlocked a level of maturity where I can be unbiased in my opinion.
I got you.
Sometimes when we feel so passionately about something that we feel passionate about, it's like we don't understand anything beyond our understanding. Like we won't grasp anybody else's concept. We're not trying to understand someone else's perspective.
Right.
So I love to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
So I love to take myself outside of my position and put myself in another person's position to think, okay, well, how would I feel, or what would I think, or what would be important if I was on the other side of this thing? So I appreciate that about myself because I haven't always been that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ken, that's big as hell. That's big as hell, Ken, because, and I just had this conversation with a friend, with one of my best friend groups. When we're in disagreement, like especially if you're opinionated like we are, and if there's some disagreement come up, you have to be emotional and mentally cognizant enough to make space for disagreement.
Yes.
And it's hard, right? And it's hard as hell. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is how I feel. This is how I was raised. This is what I stand on because this shit worked for me. And it's like, man, it's hard. But having the emotional and mental wherewithal to hear somebody
Yes.
that you don't feel that way. I think that makes room for growth.
Sometimes some people, because I've been guilty of this myself, but even seeing disagreement as a form of disrespect.
Wow.
As if you're not entitled to your own thought process.
Wow.
Like you have to think like me, like my way or the highway type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so once I think if we can get past that block of thinking that just because you don't think like me or just because you don't agree with me, then that means that you're disrespecting me. No, that just means that you think differently from me.
Right.
And if I were smart, I would actually listen to what it is that you're saying because I could probably learn something. Yeah.
And damn, I didn't even expect us to talk about this, but for real, but when you are opinionated, for all of us, you're opinionated, and when you got something to say, granted, because it's a lot going on in this world, and Ken, like today, I don't know how you feel about this, but the climate we're living in right now, like it's unfair. Before I say what I'm gonna say, before I make the comment I'm gonna make, I want to say first, I think it's unfair we have to do this. But it's almost like you damn near gotta stake your case. People gotta know what you fuck with, who you roll with. Like people gotta know that. And it's like, you ain't really messing with them. You ain't really going with them unless you know what they stand on. And because that we're living in a very, very authentic, transparent climate. And if you're not willing, that's one thing I've learned, y'all, with doing this podcast. If you're not willing to state your case.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to say what you own and what you're not on, people ain't really messing with it.
No.
People ain't messing with it. So yeah, damn.
I need to know what are you about.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you think? I need to know that.
Ain't that fucked up though? That's how tense our climate is now.
Yeah.
I need to know what you want.
Yeah.
What you want.
Yeah.
And in particularly, I know I said this so wrong, y'all. Don't judge me. But for real, y'all, this conversation, the strong man you wanted. The strong man you wanted. Unpacking how women expectations of strength sometimes reinforces emotional disconnection. And before we turn the camera on, of course, me and her, we gonna talk, and I shared with you, Ken. We could just, let's just keep that conversation going. We had a good conversation, and I told her, regardless if a man is straight or gay, queer, anything in between, a lot of decisions that men make, a lot of ideologies men carry, is because of how women carry. Man, it's because of how women feel, for real. And I think I illustrated to you how that works, and I gave her I'm gonna share the conversation. So, how I watched The Chi. I asked her, did she watch The Chi? I love The Chi. The Chi is one of my favorite TV shows. It's not my favorite. Yeah, and it's not a spoiler, but it's just one situation going on The Chi. And I told Ken, I said, well, it's a guy on The Chi. He's only dated trans women, and now he's gone through a couple of them, and so now he's broke up with the trans woman, but he's attracted to a whoa man. You, right? Whoa man, real woman. No pun intended for nobody. That if you feel like you a woman, listen, I ain't knocking you.
Right.
Hey, I ain't not you. That's how we got to state your claim. You got to state it is sad. It's sad that conflict is there. You have to state your case. But anyway, this man, he's now attracted to a woman, or someone who was born, and this is the gender that was assigned to you. You were born as a woman, and I don't think it's realistic that y'all would want him, or you would want to have anything to do with him. Like, for real, I see your face. Look at her face. I like, for real, like in a real world, like I don't think that could exist, because I feel like if a thought about a man venturing on this side of the fence, it's like, so yeah.
It happens. I've seen it. I've heard of it.
Wow.
I know of women
Wow.
who have dated men that are bisexual.
Mhm.
But like we had it said in the conversation, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. And why you wouldn't? And why you wouldn't?
Because I can't compete with that.
Okay.
It's enough for me to have to. Shit, I'm just.
You're good.
I'm
You're
just saying,
good.
like
For real.
I already have to compete with other women. You know what I mean?
Right,
The ones that
right.
go get nipped and tucked and their stomachs are flat
Yeah,
and they this and that and
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I already got to compete with like me being natural versus a woman going and having certain, a cosmetic surgery.
Right.
Which don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying or
Yeah.
talking about anybody who does.
Yeah.
If that's what you choose to do and you can afford it, then
Don't do it.
more power to you.
More power to the
I can't-
people.
I don't have the money to do it, so I can't.
That's a lot.
But what I'm saying is that as a woman, a born woman or natural woman, I already have to compete with the women who have had the surgeries. That's enough. I can't compete with a man.
Right.
So if a nigga take my nigga, I might have to go into therapy. I'm just saying because it's like I don't know what that's what I'm supposed to do now. Like I already lost a man to a woman, and now I'm gonna lose a man to another man. But I know that it happens. There are women that will date men that are bisexual. They will.
And that's what this episode is about, y'all. I want to challenge some. I want to have some honest reflection, Ken, and I want to be able to challenge gender norms and open up about spaces of healing, like because a lot of what men do and how men perform and how men situate themselves is based off of what y'all push. You know what I'm saying? The things y'all push. So if I think that if I think that I have to perform a certain way, if I think that I have to look a certain way, if I think I have to be a certain way for myself to look like the baller in the woman's eyes, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, what I think you will want, because, like I think Mary J. Blige got to do something. Well, it ain't new, but just the bad guy wins, right? The thug wins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Every dude want to be a bad boy. It even works on the queer side. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes love like masculine and presenting men. They love like men that's gonna present, or that presents in a way where, man, that's a real dude. That's a real man. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy is like showing up in this real man capacity because he hard, he gonna hold a door for you, he gonna do all the heteronormative things.
Yeah.
But he gonna fuck me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
so that's even on the queer side, that's what's wanted, or that's what's like, Ken. So today, I really want us. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So I want to have this conversation, and and this is my girl, and I've mentored her son for a number of years. We've served in ministry together, all the things, but her and I, like, we just align, and I'm so thankful that you're here. Just we finna get into it.
I'm ready.
If y'all follow her on social media, I like whenever I get a chance to like break from cutting her, and I look on there and I open it up, and she been there presented like I think last week you were maybe not last week, before last, you asked something about the mayor and like had something to do with what the mayor of our city was doing or something, like Mayor Young and what. Oh no, it was about AXI. It was about AXI. Yeah. And you asked, I think you asked something about how is it going to benefit. That she just asked these questions.
Because the thing is that people, oftentimes what I'm learning is that people will form opinions. They'll piggyback off of someone else. So you haven't even like educated yourself.
Right.
You're just up in an uproar because everybody else is in an uproar. And can you tell me why you're mad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you're okay or you're happy about something, tell me. Like, can you tell me why?
Yeah.
So I did ask the question. I wanted to know. I don't remember how I worded it, but I wanted someone to tell me specifically why that area was a good area for that supercomputer.
You did, yep, you did.
So tell me why.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to feel. So can somebody give me some, like, tell me why you are saying, like, give me knowledge based answers
Yeah.
as to why that's there.
So when you do that, I want to ask you, when you do that, Ken, is a lot of times, are you trying to provoke dog, or is like genuine, like, damn, I want to know?
Both.
Really? Okay.
Both.
Okay.
So it is for me to, because it gives me another perspective of things, or it gets me to understand certain things. But then also, I told somebody this the other week. It's kind of a character flaw almost. I like to cause people to think.
Yeah.
So sometimes if someone asks me a question, I may answer you in the form of a question just because I want you to hear what you just asked me. Like, how much sense? And I want to use an example, but it's work based.
But
I can't use
I got it. But I love it because you're a protagonist. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what that is?
Yeah. You really like push to like. I'm saying this, but I got something behind it.
I want you to hear yourself.
I want you to hear yourself.
I want you to hear yourself.
Right.
And when you hear yourself, does it make sense?
Now I will say a protagonist and an antagonist, two different things. Some people just, because I just want to be different, I'm gonna bullshit you. That's antagonist. Like, I'm just gonna push you because I know, but
the grain,
right, just because, right. But how you present, it's a protagonist.
Yeah. Okay. Well then,
Yeah, and Ken, it's interesting to hear you say that, because you protagonate, if I can use that, you do, and I love it. And I want to ask you about, this is so random, off topic, but let's just go there for a second. The fans with the women. Now,
which one?
This one, both of them. That's your camera, but this our camera.
This my camera.
Yes, your
This our
camera. Yeah.
My God.
The fans. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm so over the fans. Oh my God.
Like everywhere I can, it be so funny. Everywhere I go, Ken, like the fans. Like I was in love last
rude.
Monday.
The fans are rude. It's just so loud. Like, Mom,
The pops. Like, it's like, yeah, I got mine. I swear to God, Ken, I was in love last month. This lady, she probably was like, maybe her early 50s. I don't know what party she was with, but I was in a booth with some people, and she was at a booth, and she could not wait to pull her fan out. She pulled that fan out. Yeah, I got my bop. Any song that was sung, if it don't even
go with the song. You just popping the fan to annoy people.
Yeah, you pop. So what's up with that, kid?
Don't ask me. I'm over that shit. I'm over it. I was at Salt the other day, and this lady had a fan and a whistle. I almost came unhinged. You hear me?
Oh God.
She's got the whistle around her neck.
Wow.
Like she a goddamn referee or some shit. Like we
She
had
was
a
ready.
league game, and she's literally like. The whistle is loud. The fan is loud.
All that.
It was
my God.
It was bad. I'm over it. I don't want to go anywhere where somebody might feel. I just.
Like, I heard Carnival Cruise Line, like, they banning fans now.
Good job, Carnival. God,
they don't want no speakers or no fans. You just got, like, I don't know. What is that? Like, damn, it's like a thing.
It's a thing. I was just going to say, it's a trend. And I will be, and I know people. I have a good friend, Keitra, and Keitra kept fans with her.
Really? Just because?
But it was, she's ladylike. She's very demure. Or what, you know what I'm saying? So she has the fan, and she's literally using the fan for its intended purpose. She's cooling herself off. That's what she'll break it out in the middle of love, and she'll just fan herself, and that's it. I've never seen her pop that fan.
Wow.
I've never seen it, and I probably won't, because it's just she was rolling her eyes with me.
And don't get us wrong, y'all. Like we don't like. We're not saying we mind everybody being with boots on the ground. Listen, it's hot right now. That's probably be with the boots on the ground. Do that. But I think that every opportunity to pop the fan is like a thing now. Like, I got my fan.
For no reason. You just
for no reason.
I'm gonna take these off in case they laugh.
You good.
I mean, just popping just to be.
She's so tough.
Just popping just to be just sit down.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
I'm over the fans.
Wow,
I am.
wow. And women, that's the thing. Like, y'all comment on there, like, or say something about the fans. Like, we might need to get a petition started about these fans. But
Well, I feel like if the venue owners, if they start putting a surcharge, like, you know, they have, like, if a club does BYOB and they charge you a fee to bring your, like, it's BYOB, but we got to make some money somehow. So
Okay.
we're going to charge you a fee to bring your bottle in.
okay.
If they put a surcharge, if anybody, hello, if anybody out there listening to me has a club, fan surcharges.
Fan surcharge.
I bet if they have to pay for them, they won't bring them in.
All day.
And then if they pay for them, then we can't say nothing. They can clack it all damn night if they want to.
Wow.
I'm
Now,
just saying, because you're annoying the rest of the paying patrons.
you hear it from a woman, you know, and this is another woman. Like, the men, dudes can't say that because it's already hard enough
That's
for
true.
dudes. Well, dudes cannot say
That's
that. You
true.
can't say nothing because, like, you attacking a woman, you attacking. So it has to be from you, y'all. And y'all, I
But
want
then if I said I'm a pick me.
Okay, explain to the bridges what a pygmy is. Wow.
So a pick me is a woman that women feel side with a man for the sole purpose of gaining his attention.
Damn.
Like,
Wow. Damn.
I
Hold
don't
on.
do that. Pick me.
Damn.
I'm not like that. I don't think like that. I don't do that.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So if I say, you know, cool it with the fans, and the men are like, my God, somebody finally said it.
Wow.
Some woman is going to say, I'm a pick me. Oh, she's a pick me.
Wow. So for men, I think the equivalent to pygmy is what they be saying. Pandering. So for men, it's pandering, and for y'all, it's pygmy.
Okay.
So for men, is man, you pandering these women, you pandering, bro. And for y'all, it's
pick me.
Wow, pick me. Wow. So it's pandering and pick me, y'all, for us. so we for real. I love it. Like this ain't even what we planned, but it's just naturally flowing, and I love it.
Yeah.
This pandering and pick me, like it's a thing for both sides, men and women, gay or straight, queer, whatever. Pick me and pandering is a thing.
So, but pick me actually is a thing, though.
It's a thing. No.
Like seriously, I've seen women
Mm-hmm.
on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, girl, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Because you know, it's just So a good example of pick me is
She's talking about it.
I've seen. So this isn't even like a man woman type thing. So I've seen.
Okay.
And you see these posts on social media where someone is bashing their experience with a business.
Okay.
Like for instance, if I go to a restaurant and the service good example. I bought a cake from someone.
Okay.
And the cake that I bought and I paid for, it was dry. It wasn't good. It was the delivery time was late. Yada yada yada. Right.
Okay.
And then in the comment section, you see, next time, sis, order from me.
Wow.
Next time.
Really?
And they'll put their
Wow.
flyer and they'll
Wow.
put their number and some of them go as far as they start posting their work in the comment section.
That's so fucked up. Like, for real.
And then you'll see like somebody tag somebody else. So back when I used to cater, I would tell my friends, listen. If you see, don't ever, never use someone else's negative as a way to put me on.
That's a pick me.
I don't want it
That's
that
a
way.
pick me.
That's a pick me.
Damn.
I don't want it.
Wow.
I don't want it like that.
Wow.
I don't even want to be in
Wow.
the.
Wow.
But you have people to do it.
And even for, because I'm a barber, right? I'm a barber, and I cut gay and straight men, straight and gay men, gay and straight and gay, and all in between. And so for men, like, if you're doing, sometimes if it looks like you're going the extra mile for a woman, it's like, he nigga pandering. He pandering, like he's trying to get her. He like, I'm gonna tell you, it's so toxic, Ken. But I gotta say it, like we have been competing since we were little boys. I just told Trent this Saturday, we've been competing since we were boys, and so if nobody has ever checked that, if nobody's like we still competing as men, and so what it. And this is, again, it's toxic. I ain't saying it's right. And this is comparing to the pick me. It's like if the room, and it's so how we communicate so much with energy. We communicate more with energy than anything. So in a room of men, and there's a woman in the room, if he do anything, that the energy in the room feel this extra.
Yeah.
He pandering, like he trying to get her attention. And so either you're trying to get her attention or you're a punk. That's so screwed up.
He can't just be a gentleman. God forbid he's just a gentleman.
Yeah, I listen, how I serve in the community, what I do, I've had straight men tell me, Raymond, they didn't know anything about me. They said, Raymond, you know what you do? That's slick like punkish. That's slick like a man that real. I promise to God.
Punkish.
What's punkish is a man that takes.
No, I'm saying what is it that you do that they're saying is punkish?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Because I got offended. I'm sorry.
No, real talk. A man that takes up time with another man's child.
Is punkish?
I swear to God.
By whose standard?
Like
that bullshit.
I promise to God.
No, seriously.
Listen, y'all.
This
This is my girl, y'all. We both learn so much. It's like, nah, I be like, nah, Ken, this is what guys feel. She be like, nah, Raymond, this is Ken, for like real talk, like that's punkish. And so I've been told that before, Raymond, that's really punkish what you do, but I respect it.
That's
real
a
talk.
backhanded compliment.
It's backhanded, and that.
Because why can't you just respect it?
That feeds
and leave it at that. Why do you have to add the punkish part?
It feeds into the pandering.
Yeah.
Pick me up pandering.
Yeah.
And the P word. Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So anyway, I digress. Let's get into this conversation.
Right,
and this is the conversation because this is the thing, and a lot of what my podcast is turning into, Ken. I'm trying to dispel like toxic masculine energy, like for real, because we all need to be able to be human and exist. And I want to, since you deal with men that you dated, and you deal with male friends and male associates, and so I want to have a conversation from the perspective of a black woman, because that's all you've ever been around, right? Black woman, a black woman, how you date and how, what you, and how not only how you date, the emotional aspect of what's allowed with men, right? Right? And so I want to ask, what does strength look like in the men that you were taught to desire, or the men that you felt like you desire? What does strength look like with that, Ken? And who decided the definition for you as a woman?
That was easy. As far as who decided the definition, it was my father.
Wow.
For sure.
Okay.
So I remember my dad had a say because I had my first child when I was 17.
Okay.
So my entire adult life, I've been a parent.
Okay.
So
damn, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah, that is.
That's a lot to take in because like your entire adult life,
my
you've been a parent.
My whole adult life,
you've been a parent.
I've been responsible for someone else.
Wow.
Never just me.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll talk about
Go ahead. Yeah.
There can be another day.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something, Ken. I think that and I don't want to skate over that because I think a lot of men look at that as, oh, it's her baby, she got to deal with it, but to mentally understand what you just said, like to have to be responsible for another human. From
When you still trying to
when
figure
you
it out.
learn to be an adult, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's a lot. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
But I remember when I was in my early 20s.
Okay.
And I think I was dating a guy at the time, and my dad called me.
Okay.
And he was like, "What are you doing?"
Okay.
And I think I told him that I was cooking the guy some dinner or something. I was cooking dinner, and the guy was over there. Somehow I mentioned the fact that I was cooking and the guy was there at the same time or whatever.
Okay. Gotcha.
Somehow I tied them in together.
Okay.
And my dad told me, he said, "Listen, let me tell you something." He said, "You are a single mom."
Okay.
With 3 children. Because at this time I was in my early 20s, right? I had 3 babies already. And he said, a man brings food to the table. A man doesn't take food away from your table.
Okay.
And he set that tone. He probably should have set the tone a little bit earlier, but that's neither here nor there. But he set that tone for me very early.
Okay.
In my early 20s, when it came to my babies.
Okay.
What a man was supposed to do.
Okay.
What I shouldn't be doing, according to my dad, and how things should go.
Okay.
Very early.
Okay. So to what you said to that man, like was that like a girl, like get yourself together, like when he said that, or was it like, because you said the guy was there, you were cooking, and what was he doing again?
So I was cooking and he was there, but what my dad didn't know was that he had told me that before, and it was already in me.
Okay. Wow.
But I had never, that was the first time I ever said something about somebody being at my house and me cooking, and I remember now it was breakfast.
Okay.
But that guy had brought over food. I was just cooking it. He brought it, and he brought it.
Dad didn't know that.
He didn't know that part.
Okay. So Dad was just thinking, this girl cooking her food.
Right.
Ninja.
But she cooking her kids' food was
right. No. Rest in peace, Bob. Rest in peace.
I love my dad so much, man.
And so what did you learn in your understanding? And I want to really be like, we're speaking from a broad perspective, but because you're watching individually, think about your lived experience as well. And from a woman's standpoint, Ken, when your dad said that, what does strength look like in terms of what you're looking for, what you're attracted to in a man? Like, what does that look like?
Providing.
Okay.
Strength.
Okay.
Looks like providing and protecting.
Okay.
According to my dad.
Okay.
I don't think I know I don't. I don't tie emotions into strength.
Okay.
I don't tie how someone feels, because at the end of the day, like, yes, you're a man, yes, I'm a woman, but we still have emotions. And I don't think it's fair to say that because you are a man that you should feel less than what I feel. I think you still should be allowed to feel whatever you feel, because you go through pain. You know what I mean? Like, you go through disappointment just like a woman does.
Yeah.
So I don't tie emotion and strength together.
And I hear you. I hear you, and I agree with you, Ken. Like, why is it that? Because I think that community-wise, for Black men, that there's a gay and a straight community, and I told Ken too, and I talked about this the other week. 3 things a Black man don't want to look. You don't want to look weak, you don't want to look broke, you want to look gay. So in terms of strength, I feel like weak and gay a lot of times get thrown into the same basket.
Unfortunately.
Weak and gay gets thrown in, and it gets thrown in all together. And so from a male perspective, it's like if I look weak and gay,
Oh yeah.
bro,
Double
like,
negative.
like, because I got a few clothes where I can still look fly, so I ain't gotta really look broke, you know. But if I look weak and gay, it's like, yeah, that's man. And so, where strength is concerned, what I understand you're saying is providing, protecting. That's what strength looks like for a woman. And why is it?
And emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that's a 2025. Well, we're right.
Emotional intelligence is so like overlooked, I feel.
And Ken, I was gonna say, Ken, just a slight pushback. I don't think that's on the list.
Like you can be emotional, but just can you think it through?
Wow.
Like don't be reactive.
Wow. So that's a good question. So in that don't be reactive, what end of the spectrum is okay? That nigga soft. Where does that come in the if you see a man being emotional or expressing emotion, like and I'm not asking you to just speak from your perspective. I am asking you to speak from your lived experience and just ask for women. And because with men, it's like that's not a spectrum we can be on emotionally. Like we can't be on a spectrum of emotion. You either gotta be emotional or you're not.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where that's where the misunderstanding is for us.
Yeah.
You're saying your emotional intelligence matter, but what is the how far though? And I know it's relative, y'all, but I just want to have a conversation. What is how far? What is how far?
Like up to what point would I consider a man soft?
Right. And to what point would I consider a black man soft or a black man gay?
Ooh.
That's and y'all understand that those two pieces to me need to be separate. Like soft and gay needs to be separate, but
yeah, because I don't understand how they would be in the
see,
same.
in men's world, all that shit is in one bunch.
Yeah.
So you're soft, and we're told to be a gentle man, but when you see a gentle man, it's like, so what you really want to see? Like what you want to see, and so at what point does it becomes okay? He's soft or he gay? Man,
I'm gonna go with soft.
Okay, let's do it.
I think the gay thing is unfair because what makes a man gay is who he's attracted to,
right?
Not how he carries himself, or how he responds emotionally.
Absolutely.
Soft though.
Okay. At what point?
For me,
this is
good. I am an emotional intelligence type of person.
Yeah. Okay.
So anytime a man cannot think for himself.
Okay.
For instance, I dated a man.
Okay.
Who would and there'll probably be some women that don't agree with me, and that's fine.
Okay.
I always want a man to be a man. If I can run you over, I'm not attracted to that.
Wow.
I need somebody that can pick, that can literally balance being able to let me have my way.
Okay.
While also being able to tell me to sit my ass down. So you have to be able to do both. So if I can completely run you over, you are soft.
Okay.
And I'm not attracted to that.
Wow. So understand, and this is for conversation purposes. Like you got to be willing to have enough courage to tell me sit your ass down.
You have,
at the same time.
And you have to know when. Courage, yes, but you also have to be like intuitive enough to know when to say you're doing too much. Sit down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because women are emotional.
Okay.
So we have to have someone that's less emotional than we are to be able to curb when we just kind of going too far. Like when we going out the deep end, we gotta have somebody that can. Because if I'm a bad bitch and you a bad bitch, then we gonna be in trouble. We can't both. We can't both. We can't both be that.
We can't both. And so the that's so.
I'm just saying.
We both.
We can't both.
We can't. I ain't gonna do that.
We can't both be crybaby.
But say, okay, so that was good. Damn, kid, I love this. And so, hearing you say that as a life coach, because I've done the work of learning emotional literacy, I feel like men and women are equally emotional. If you care for that, I'm gonna tell you. I feel like men and women are equally emotional, but we dispense it differently.
I can agree with that.
And so I think the understanding is women are emotional and men are not.
Okay.
And for me, I feel like we both are equally emotional, but you guys dispense it differently than we dispense it. And we hold it. We'll hold that shit, Ken. We gonna hold that shit and let that shit build up like, damn, this motherfucker, we gonna hold it. And then when we let it out, you crying somewhere because I done man, you better sit there. And it's like, but bruh, you been holding it, you been saving it up. You been saving it up where you will, every week, if you ask me, baby, I need you to get my oil changed. Baby, I need you to cut the grass. Baby, I need you to kind of be a little more present. Like, you're going to keep a bento Rolodex, like, okay, he got the yard this week. I asked him to get that oil change. You know what I'm saying? And so you like, and I hope y'all get what we're saying. Like, I feel like as a woman, like you're going to, you gonna be more organized with this shit.
We keep tabs for sure.
Wow, but you're gonna be more organized with it than me. And so one of the biggest man woman thing is, and I've learned this even with a nonprofit. Women, y'all keep things in line. We need y'all. Mm-hmm. We need y'all, Ken, and y'all associate like making decisions. Y'all keep all that up, and so I'm telling you, as a man, we be so spaced out. We be spaced out, kid.
But that's why I say that I think that men are less emotional. But of course I don't.
I got you.
I'm not a man, so who am I to say? But I know that in experiences, like I may express something to a man, even like my actual platonic male friend. Prime example.
Okay.
3 years ago, I went to this lady and I got her to dye my hair blonde.
Okay.
For my birthday.
Okay.
Worst fucking hair color ever. Okay. It was horrible. Mm-hmm. And the guy that I was dealing with at the time, who actually he and I are very good friends now, but I literally called him bawling. Okay. I mean, snot boat tears. Okay. I was crying like somebody. I was crying so hard that he was like, "What's wrong?" Like he thought somebody had died.
Wow.
That's how I was crying.
Wow.
And I was like, I hate my hair. I hate it. I mean, I was.
You were then toe up. You were toe up. You were toe up. Wow.
But this is what I'm saying when I say, and he was just like,
yeah,
girl,
like what you doing?
But this is what I'm saying. Not one of your clients has ever gone home and cried because they didn't like their haircut.
No. Wow.
Wow. We are basket cases.
Wow. I got you.
So if I'm dating a man,
I got you,
who comes home and cries about his haircut, we got a motherfucking problem.
Yeah. I get it. No. Listen. And we ain't making fun of nobody else.
No,
but
if you've ever cried, because of your haircut, I'm sorry. I'm talking about you.
So I want to ask you. I want to go forward with the conversation. So, what emotion? This is a big question. Sis, this is a big question. Okay. You better get it. You better get it right.
Okay.
What emotion does men have permission to show? And we not be looked at as soft or gay.
Easy. I know.
Wow.
I know.
Y'all hear that?
I'm just being honest.
Wow. Come on.
Come
on. Let's go.
But it's like what we said earlier when you said that women will say, well, you can yada, but not too much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's okay for men to feel sad. It's okay for men to feel jealous.
Okay. Wow.
It's okay
Whoa.
for men to feel angry.
Okay. That's normal. Anger is normal.
Jealousy is okay.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
okay
Wow.
for a man to feel jealousy.
But when we feel it, it's like, I'm just being real. But I'm just being real. But you can't, bro. I'm just. And so.
But again, don't do too much.
Okay.
Because I've had a man
Come on.
that was jealous of my children.
Wow. Wow.
Like, real deal. He called me one day. He was working nights.
Mm-hmm.
And so our window to speak was small.
Okay.
During the weekday.
Okay.
Because he sleep during the day.
Okay.
And then I'm sleep at night when he's at work.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very small window. But on this particular day, when he called me, I was helping Cameron with a project.
Okay.
And he wanted my undivided attention, to which I could not give him because I was helping my child.
Okay.
And he was upset. Well, I guess I'll just talk to you later. Well, I guess the fuck you will.
Wow.
That's too much. You're doing too much.
Gotcha.
And that man was like, I'm trying. And later on, he was like, I'm trying to talk to you, and you talking to him. That could have waited. Never.
So to you as a woman, what you said you look for, because you learned this from your dad, what does that speak? Does that directly speak to providing or protecting? Which one of those does that speak to?
Which part?
Of him, of what happened, and that, just using that as an example, him thinking that, okay, damn, he ain't got enough time for me. Like, does that speak to him being willing to protect, or him understanding that you're providing in the moment? Like, what does that speak to?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because like for a dude,
Because
like,
I don't think he was doing either
what?
in that moment. I think he was just being a bitch. Can I say
Yeah,
that?
you can say that. No, you can say that. Absolutely. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Bitch, like, 'cause, but I feel like in that moment, he's a father.
Okay. Right.
He's a father too.
So he
should have.
He should have understood that I'm providing.
I'm providing.
And
for
you
my
need to
child.
know that I'm making the time for you. I can.
And him, as a provider,
Wow.
should have said, "Oh, you helping Cameron with his project? Well, go ahead, baby.
Wow.
I'll call you on my break. Go ahead and
Wow.
finish helping him."
Wow.
And a true provider, in that moment, I would have fit. Because providing is not just a financial thing. That's what I'm trying to say. I was trying to say physical. It's not financial. It's not necessarily just providing.
Wow.
Emotional support is also a part of providing.
Yeah.
So provider does not necessarily just mean monetary.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So like if you in the family dynamic, the man is supposed to be the head.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So in our relationship dynamic, in that moment, I would have expected him to be the head.
Gotcha.
And have had enough emotional intelligence
Gotcha.
to say, well, baby, I just call you on. I know you're trying to help Cameron. Because at this point, it's like 9 o'clock at night. So clearly, if I'm still working on a project at 9 o'clock, I got to wrap this thing up so this boy can go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So you're supposed to have enough emotional intelligence to say that, oh, I haven't talked to her all day. And I miss her, but she's helping Cameron with the project, so I'll just talk to her later.
So I'm gonna be Ken for a minute. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute.
Ooh.
So we're in a relationship.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk. I heard you told me that several times. You know, because I still don't have the wherewithal to say, jealous of your kids. Like I ain't got that. Mm-hmm. So I hear that, and I detach emotionally because watch this, because I don't want to look soft by telling you that I'm jealous. Because if I tell you that I'm jealous of you, I can look soft. I can even look gay. And that's toxic, but that's because it's all in that bowl for men. So I can tell you, because I can't tell you that I'm jealous. So I start detaching emotion. And I start, you know what? I'm just not going to say it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna go and get what I need to get from somewhere else because I know that when I come home, like I gotta deal with this bullshit. So I detach. This is good, Ken. So I know. I detach. I start detaching emotionally. So for women, is it common to see a man emotionally detached and we mistake it for maturity and for masculinity? Because listen, I know I get killed for this too, but I'm gonna say this because I'm looking at Muddy and Daddy, and I'm Muddy grandma and granddaddy. Like I could be wrong, but I'm open for a correction. But when as I saw my granddaddy and the men, older men grow up, they were emotionally detached.
Yep. Like robots.
They were
Just
emotional,
kinda
and we learned masculinity based off of watching them.
I see what you're saying.
And so if we saw them emotionally detached, it's like that's what a real man is.
Yeah.
And so because I don't understand how to communicate, because if I feel like if I do, I'm gonna look soft
Right.
or gay.
Or gay.
2025, Ken, is it still common for women to mistake? Because this is rich, Ken. Is it still common for women to mistake emotional detachment for maturity or masculinity?
I think it's possible. I think that if you are not in tune with your partner enough, that you could mistake one for the other.
Wow.
If you're not in tune enough.
Wow.
But someone who detaches, that means in order to detach, that means that at some point you were attached. Right? So when you detach, then that means some things that should change about your behavior.
Wow.
And if I'm in tune with you enough,
okay,
I should be able to pick up on knowing that you're detaching like for unhealthy reasons versus you're just adjusting because you're maturing.
Wow.
And I think that like adjusting because you're maturing, I think conversation comes with it. Like there's communication that comes with that should let you know that that's what the person is doing because we're talking about it or we're working through things or whatever. If someone is detaching and they're just not even discussing whatever, and they're just going about their day, like I said, like a robot, just kind of just going through the motions, then that's an indication that they are, that it's an unhealthy adjustment. And detaching.
That's good. No, that's good what you're saying. And what if, wow, I don't even have, Ken, the mental wherewithal to decipher if I'm becoming because like the natural inclination because of a man, so I need to preserve my manhood.
Yeah.
So that's a part of my detaching from you emotionally. But then, because you one of these 2025 women and you say emotional intelligence is important for you, I want to grab hold to that a little bit because I need you to see and I need you to think, to feel like I'm doing the work.
Yeah.
So this is Ken. So I'm gonna be passive aggressive.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna just kind of be general about what I want, be real general about what I need, but I expect you to see it because I know you are in tune with your emotions. Because women are emotional. I'm in tune. I know you're in tune, so I need you to understand that I don't even fully understand. And it's not.
But that's why I said communication.
Wow.
Because as women, I feel like we have to create that safe space so that the man that we're dealing with can say, okay, so listen, I'm trying, but I just don't even know if I know how.
Wow.
But part of creating that safe space is to ensure that he doesn't feel like if he comes to me that I'm going to think he's soft or gay.
Wow.
Like this is an open door policy.
Wow.
So if you feel away, if I made you feel away, if I said something to you that doesn't sit well with you, or if you don't even understand it, then I have to at least make a comfortable space for you to come back and be able to feel comfortable to come back and say, I don't understand that.
Wow.
I don't really.
Wow. Ken, you hitting so many nails right now, because I personally feel like this is monumental, because I want men and women to understand y'all so much stronger than what we've been taught to give y'all credit for.
Yeah.
You help us to navigate, whether I'm straight or gay, a woman, because of how you were built, you help us to navigate, right? And so just what you just said, like you creating the space to give me the room.
Yeah.
Give me the room. And God. So when it comes down to intimacy, Ken, like do you think, because what you just described is not a hard version, but a softer. I know the probably get me in trouble, because men have an issue with the word soft.
Okay.
But you giving me permission to walk in a softer version, like, does that make space, or can that make space for intimacy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. But creating a safe space and being reciprocal when someone does want to come talk to you, that is a form of intimacy.
Wow.
Intimacy is not just physical. It's being able to be transparent and naked. Not even feeling but can I be emotionally naked?
Yeah.
Is it okay for me to be emotionally naked? That's intimacy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So because I know we understand as men we have to be protectors. So even in that, does it now? Don't shoot me, because but does that make space for me to be as protective, or I say that because as a woman, because I know we're all taught equally both that a man's supposed to be a protector.
Correct.
And if you make space for me to be a softer man, this is hard. This is why I'm reaching it like this. If you make space for me to be a softer man, should I, in your mind, should I still have like the same expectations on protection?
Now let me tell you something. If we are emotionally vulnerable with each other, meaning I've created that space for you to be that way with me. Because if I'm creating a space for you to be that way with me, then that means that I'm gonna also feel like I can be emotionally naked with you.
Right.
And if I have been emotionally naked with you, you better well be a protector.
Okay.
Because I've been vulnerable with you. So you better protect me. Absolutely.
So now that's good. If I don't know you remember only the movie Life, they had the gun line on Martin and Eddie. Like they do it. You go over this line, your ass out. You go over the gun line, you out, kid. And so if I don't know the gun line between soft and gay, if I as a man don't understand the gun line between soft and gay, how am I supposed to navigate that? You see what I'm saying? You see, because like I understand that you're making room, and I think for a lot of women, and me and my sister having this conversation, but for a lot of women, like I know you want to make room for your intimate partners as well as you want to make room for the men in your life that are queer. And so, because all the men in my life, whether you are somebody who's my partner or my straight brother, or if you are queer or somebody in my life I'm building a relationship that's queer, like if we're not taught on this side, Ken, to really be able to decipher soft and gay, how can we show up and just still be confident enough to show up with you guys?
So, in my personal opinion, because by no means I'm single, single.
She said it.
So you know, by no means am I any expert.
Gotcha.
At all.
Gotcha.
I can just speak from experience.
Gotcha.
For guys, I would say this is where you have to know your partner. This is why I feel like it's so important for people to take time getting into relationships.
Yeah.
Like study.
Yeah.
You have to really, really pay attention and learn the person that you're with. Because a lot of times I've heard men say that they don't like being vulnerable because when a woman gets angry, she'll throw whatever that is back up at them.
Wow.
I was dating a guy some years back, and he confided in me and told me that he was molested as a child by an older male.
Okay.
And he even went as far as to asking me, does that make me gay? And he genuinely was asking if that, because apparently this molestation, which if anyone has ever been touched inappropriately, you know that it's not a one-time occurrence. Especially if it's like a family friend or something like that, it's a reoccurring thing. And he genuinely had carried around in his mind and in his heart and in his spirit for years, wondering if those encounters made him homosexual. And he asked me that. But again, he knew that this was a safe space where he could be transparent and he could ask me that question. And I have I've never told anyone what that man told me. I'm saying it now, but I'm not identifying who he is. You know what I mean? And I would never ever would I ever, and he knew that I would. And we went through it. So if I wanted to, I could destroy him, but he knows that regardless of whatever we went through, he knows that I would never do that to him. You know what I mean?
And thank you for that, for even sharing that part of your lived experience, Ken. And that bed is what I think is needed for the understandings to be mutual. You know, that bed, Ken, is needed because in that moment, I heard you making space for something vulnerable. And to your point, like for men, and I gotta say it because I know my audience. I know who watch this. For the straight man, the queer man, for the queer man, the straight man, equally, vulnerability is an issue because we don't know how to present. And so what you just said as a woman, to make space for that, you did more. And I don't even know who this man is. I don't want to know who he is. But you did more for that man in that moment than anybody could ever have done.
I hope so. Because I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Like that something as a man, that
Mhm.
something happens to me that's outside of my control.
Yeah.
And now it has me questioning my entire existence.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine how that feels.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that I even with us having parted ways and the relationship didn't work for whatever the reasons were, that is my prayer,
Mm-hmm.
that I was able to help him
Yeah.
in that moment, because that was a lot for him to have been carrying all that time.
And understand, Ken, and vulnerability, we wrap our willingness to look cool.
Mm-hmm.
We wrap knowing football stats.
Mm-hmm.
We wrap knowing basketball stats. We wrap being willing to make the best cues about y'all bodies.
Yeah.
You know, we wrap all that into vulnerability. And being willing to say it again, whether you're gay or not, because gay is one of those things. Like soft and gay be synonymous, and I think that in 2025 we need to be able to define like what that, because for men, when you say that, you just wrap all that. So I said all that to say thank you, because just the type of woman you are and how you present, and y'all, it is important. And I don't think, number one, we give women the credit y'all deserve, and number two, I don't think a lot of women understand the severity of how y'all feel about stuff, because we watch. We watch. Straight and gay, gay and straight. We watch. Man, kid. And you have really like, I know we get ready to wrap this episode, but you have helped with a lot today. And this is guys, anything that's coming up, I want to say it is coming up for me at this moment. Her and I, we go back, and we met doing ministry together. And the moment to me where both of us are at right now in life, I ain't gonna say I don't know. I know about 12, 13 years ago, we couldn't sit across from each other and have this conversation. Yeah. We couldn't. And this kind of conversation is what's needed.
Yeah.
What's needed.
Like mentally.
Yes.
And
mentally.
emotionally, I'm not the same person.
Yes.
That I was.
Yeah. And our experiences got us here, but
yes.
I think mentally and emotionally, like, to be able to sit here and have this kind of conversation with you, because men are watching, and we care what y'all think, and we care on either side of the track.
Even the ones that say they don't care.
Ooh, come on, now she giving me questions. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Even the ones that say.
Even the ones, yeah. Even the ones that say they do not care, they
still care, because it's men that are just like, I don't give, like these are the alpha males.
Come on, let's talk about it.
So to speak. You know what I'm saying? Don't care what they say. That they don't care what a woman thinks. They don't care. You know, I run my house. I don't run around my house. So you saying even them? Whatever
I got to do to protect my masculine. And if me not being vulnerable is protecting my masculine, if me not showing emotion is protecting my masculine, if me not even showing you that I got an ounce of soft in me is protecting my masculine, I'm holding that shit. I don't give a damn what you say.
Wow.
I don't give a damn what you said, because
that's gotta be painful though.
Guys, that Ken, like,
that's crazy. I get it. I get it.
Ninjas hold this.
Yeah.
Ninjas hold this, Ken, because we do not want to be looked at a certain type of way. So vulnerability, honestly, is something neither of us want to touch. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
It is, and I can honestly say within this last decade, Ken, we are just trying to collectively be willing to even be willing to embrace what vulnerability looks like, and what a not so raw masculinity look like.
Yeah.
And so to understand what you want, because you're sitting across from me, you represent not only a partner, you represent a mother, you represent a sister, you represent a daughter, you represent all things female. And so I'm not in this moment, y'all. We're not just speaking of a intimate man-woman relationship.
Yeah.
We're speaking of man-woman relationship, like all across the board.
All across the board.
You know what I'm saying? And so
In every facet of
in every facet, y'all. I'll say this, and I'll go on record saying this. I think a relationship like ours is dangerous because it's pivotal. Because I think it's even in this moment, you know, so we've been knowing each other for years, but I learned so much from you about how women feel, and y'all, she has come to me with genuine questions like, I don't know how to feel about gay stuff. I don't know how to feel about some of this stuff like me and ours together, but this is how it should be. This is how it should be. What's your takeaways this episode, Ken? Like, for real, this has been one for the books for me, honestly. But just seeing like the strong man you wanted, whether it's your son, whether it's your dad, whether it's your partner, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's your little cousin, your little boy cousin, the strong man you wanted. Like you helped me to be able to dissect some of the stuff. Y'all definitely will see her again, because I know we're gonna get some.
Yeah, I have so much to talk about.
I know.
That's so much
But your takeaways for the men watching, and also the women watching, who on the men's side we don't know what we can or can't do, and for the women who don't know what to and not expect. So just speak to that if you can.
I think that for women, I think that we have to remind ourselves that men are still human. And they're still people.
Wow.
And so their genetic makeup may be a little different from ours, but they're still people. And we have to be okay with them being people. They're not Iron Man. You know what I mean? They're not, and just because they feel doesn't make them soft.
Okay.
And so I think that for women, if we can look at, someone recently told me, I guess I'm gonna have to say it on here to make the example. My mother and I don't have a very good relationship.
Okay.
I love her
Uh-huh.
to pieces, but we don't have a very strong relationship like my father and I did. And so someone recently told me that I have to look at my mom like she's a person, not like she's my mom.
Wow.
And if I look at her like she's a person and I remember that she's a person, then I won't be so disappointed in some things that may transpire between us. And so I think that's the best advice anybody has ever given me. And I think that that's probably the best takeaway that I could give any woman, is that you have to look at your man like he's a person, not like he's your man.
Wow.
Because he was a person before he became your man. He's always going to be a person. So you have to look at him as for what he is, not who he is.
Wow.
And I think that if you look at him like a person and you understand that he feels, and some feel more deeply than others. Now, some men are emotionally constipated and they just don't seem to feel. They just literally genuinely be confused by feelings. But then you have others that feel very deep. And that's, both are, I don't know about the emotional constipated thing. Both are okay though. So if somebody feels deep, it's okay. if he feels deep. Create a space for him to be able to feel deep and commit to understanding him in his feelings so that you know better how to even just deal with him, period.
Wow. Wow. Ken, you just said so much, and I'm at the emotionally constipated part because for men, that's where it gets cloudy, because I don't know if my emotional constipation as a man says that I'm soft or I'm gay, because it's all in the bunch together.
I hate that.
Dang!
That's unfortunate. You should be able to be emotional. Just don't cry about getting your haircut.
I love that.
But you should be, men should be able to
Wow.
they should be able to cry.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. You
Wow.
should be able to.
Sis,
Without
listen.
somebody saying, oh, yeah.
Wow. Since this has been, I know, listen, I know I'm going to get some comments on this episode, and I really want to continue this conversation. And I think today you did an excellent job at just communicating for real, y'all. Y'all, she, like her being on the first 2 episodes, like, and it really was like 1, but this is her official 2nd episode. You do such a great job with this, sis. Like,
I do.
I think you do. Now, real talk, and how you.
Kim gonna kill me for that. She asked me the other day, who taught you this shit? Because the young girls, they be like, T, clock that or something like that.
I didn't know what. I was just gonna ask you what
I
that
had to
was.
ask him, did I do
So
it
what's
right?
that?
It's like, they were saying like
Clock
T,
that
like
T.
clock that T.
Okay, I got it.
She gonna kill me.
I got it. Like, no, you nailed it. You nailed it. And I promise y'all. Listen. I say this, but y'all, she gonna be back, because we got to keep this conversation going, because this is what's at the crux of everything. This is what at the crux of everything. Like, we're gonna operate based off of what the general feeling is. So thank you so much for being a woman as human, and thank you so much for being my friend and sister. You know what I'm saying? And this has been another episode of Ray Bridging Humans. Listen, please like, share, subscribe. And Ray Bridging Humans is a place where the people get to hear you and the work see it. Love your family. Peace.